this. Okay, for example, this is the it is showing like this. So perspective view, just we will remove. Okay, so this is a tribal, right? So this is the feature which they have provided, right, to assemble, to drag, to move any particular part up to any instant or right feature, any particular rotation and all you can provide to her. And this you can provide constraint from this tribal also, right? So just I am opening a particular part also, right? So for example, this gear we have provided, right? Okay, right. So inside this particular for this bevel gear, we need to create a packaging, right? So just it's an bevel gear which we have provided directly. You can extrude any particular part, right? If you want to, right? Just create. I mean, we'll place that particular gear inside it. Okay. So I think okay. So with the help of this, you can you can remove or place it along this particular bevel gear, right? Escape, and for this bevel gear we have a different another location from the right click to point, right? If you want to place it right directly, we can place it along this, right, with the dimensions which we need, right? While clicking the right click here, directly we'll place it on this particular point, right? I can see. Okay. um, this point particular. Okay. It's okay. Place this. With the help of this, right? So we can place it here, and also we can change the location of this particular tribal, right? So while placing the tribal, also we can change like to center point to point of this, right? So here we need to place this, right? While clicking spacebar, now you can see the tribal is open, right? We can shift that particular tribal point along the part, right? Well, after clicking on space, right now it is locked to this particular point, and now we can move this particular part as our needed, right? For example, if I want to move this along with this point, right? So this is the constraint point. We can place it anywhere, right? Like this. Okay, we have placed. Now you can see it is placed inside this particular box which we need to place, right? So this is the box or the cavity, right, for which we need to create for our particular gear. Okay, so just from here to the features, you can see we can boolean with the help of this boolean operation directly we can create, right? So subtraction we can provide. This is our main body, right? So body is to be subtracted is this, right? So while clicking, and now you can see it's very easy to create an Boolean subsection. So this is the cavity which we need to create for our part, right? So from here also, as you can see, selecting this patterning we need, right, to pattern this particular cavity, right? So that is we will use this as a different pattern we can create, right, for the circular pattern, by linear pattern. Okay, so for this we are filling on this particular on this surface which we have created. So this is the filling boundary, right, which we have selected. So inside this boundary, it will selected boundary from outside which we have created like this. Okay, this feature we can use. So one second. So along with this, I will also show this. So if we can use this particular feature also, right? For example, this is the part For example, this part you want to use later on also, right, in different. So directly we can drag and drop this particular part in our catalog, right, like this. So now you can see this particular part has been added in our catalog, and we can use save this particular catalog for further uses, right? And later on, the name and everything, you can change this particular names if you want to create, right? And later on, if you want to change, you will create a new scene or add a new page, right? Like scene. So you can easily can use this particular feature. Okay, so just I will open a new scene for you. Three. Okay, so this is a new theme which we have created. Now we can use that particular part which we have created. And yes, you can see. It's very easy for the later on use also. You can use these features here also, right? So you can just have to save these parts inside the catalog and can use it later on. Right, so this is the very important and good feature which PTC has provided. So this thing I will close, okay, which we are not working. Okay, select that also, you can use it. Okay, and right, right. So when now you can see, so we also just need two features, right? So we need to pattern this also particular feature, right? This particular feature which we have to fill pattern, right? The fill boundary we have created like this. Okay, it is showing the pattern and filling boundaries. From here you can see. Okay, we will provide this. Right? Then access, we need to provide this. Okay, and rectangle access to will be like this. So this is the edge offset angle. Okay, offset will provide 60, and to the second axis also 75 axis offset, and axis 2 will be this. Okay. Model offsets we have provided, and pattern boundary, fill boundary we have selected. This is the pattern boundary text. Second, that's not taking this need to pattern. Okay, and the filling boundary what it is showing axis angle between axes. Okay, and the two relative angle 50 80. And so filling boundary will be this, and axis 1 will be this. Axis 2 will be this. We will get this working, but it is not taking this full button feature. Why is it? It's not taking. Okay, feature we have not selected yet. Okay, like this different features, like the feature which we have selected. So earlier it was selected but deselected. Right, so from here, access one, access two different features. Right, so the patterning, as you can see, you can make it easily. Right, and now you can see. Right. So like this, also if you want to save it, this also you can save it as a pattern here also. Right, the direction. So I can see. So this will also. Um, right, so this will create a cover for this. Okay, it's the same. Okay, pattern. Just we need to place it to a particular point. This is the point. Okay, and we can. Also just need to place it, so just need to remove or I need to rotate it along this axis. Yes. So just basically we can create a hmm. Okay, so here it is. Just need to position it, point the center point here. Now we can place it over particular point and this. Okay. So like this covering and all we can create it easily. And this is our cavity part. So just we can directly can in cavity and this will be our okay. And for both we have placed it right now. We can easily can change this to by pressing control, selecting all and assemble. Right, so now you can see it's an basically assembled here over, and there's a new uh, tribal, right? So that can also can be seen here. Right, so this is the tripod for this assembly. Okay, assembly tripod is here. You can place it. Uh, no. So this point we can place it, and if you want to change or create, right? So from the distance we can move it, or directly we can create a distance from the settings. As you can see, it is okay. Right, create a linear pattern. So patterning also from here we can create distance as the height is 40. Okay. So all the patterning directly we can do it from here, right? So like this. So these patterning options on the this from the shortcut key, right? Directly from the tribal, right? So most of the things you can also can create with the help of this tribal directly, right? So whenever you are creating, just if you want to move it along any particular order, then directly you can change the order or pattern, right? So these features you can handle easily. Okay, and okay, so these features like cavity creation, patterning, and all we can create over here. And so you can also place these layers, multiple layers inside any particular box. If you want to place or directly, you can place it over anywhere else also. Okay, so if you need the circle, you can do the box also to place all three layers here. Okay, so 230 is the box layer which we have created. So we will create 240. Okay, so for creation of box, 240 length and 40, 40, 420, 120 was the height. So 130 we can take. Okay. So this is the box which we can create, and directly we can use it this particular feature, right? Feature of our shell part. Directly we can select this surface, right? It to be shelled and thickness, okay, 5. Individual face thickness also we can change it from here, right, to create particular box. Right, so now as you can see, this box has been created. Okay, and we can place the particular, okay, pattern in this point. If you want to now place this particular pattern inside this box and place it over to this point like this. Okay. Okay, so the box and the crates which we have created, so we can place it directly and easily inside this box, and a cover also if you want to uh, create, right, so that there can also be, we can create. So for example, this should be to the 40, so 240, right? Okay, 250, and height should be, okay, go to 10. Okay. And with this also we can shell or shell this particular part with this space with 5 mm thickness. Okay. Okay. Control with the control Z, you can easily can redo undo from here. So for example, just have undo this, and I will place it this particular surface. Okay, right. So some just like in cover which we have created, and to placing it out directly, can place this to this particular, to this point, and the meeting point will be this and this, right. Okay, so this will be the this meeting point. So we will place it tripod over here and place it to this point, right. Okay, so multiple carrots also you can create with the help of for the carrots. If you want to place it one by one over the carrots, right, that can also be done, right, the same as the patterning which we have created, right? So that patterns also we can do. Okay, so in the new scene also we will see that how we can create multiple palettes, right? The palettes also we has been used in most of our, right. So okay, let's see, close. Okay, and in the new scene directly we will go for, okay, that creates good background for each and every scene. You can change as your requirement. Okay. Right. So for creation of a palette also, right, directly we can create. Just need to place it, or if a palette or box already has been created in your catalog, right, directly you can use that also. Right. This, okay. So we will place it. 1000. Okay. Okay. So 1075, and also place it as an 25K, so 50, and that should be 25. 55. That's fine. So these kind of like the palettes which we have created, and so we can place it as an and differentiate name as per your requirement. Right. So these freestyle dragging and all you can create. So if it's an parameter, right? So you can also create it as an it's not a little bit. Mm, second, think my laptop is hanged a little bit. Something some shoes. Something some. I think one second. I need to just closing this. I will. That's not working. That's hanged a little bit. So second, just again I'm opening. It's hanged a little bit. I'm just again.
Radhika, meanwhile, can you check for some questions from the audience?
Yes, sir. Hope you are in line with our webinar and
Yes, one second, that's hanging. I will, I can explain you the further, right, in the short video, which means I have created.
yes. I request from the audience to ask any questions. अभी तक का जो वेबिनार चला है उसमें से आपको कुछ
Yeah,
doubts,
we
questions?
want active participation from the
Yes,
audience, from
yes.
users. Whatever they are doing today or whatever the challenges they are facing, they
Right.
want to discuss, particularly in this forum, or they want to discuss that separately one-to-one also. Then also just let us know that yes, you are interested to discuss one-on-one, and
So,
we will schedule for that particular thing.
so Rakshit, my screen is visible.
Yes, visible.
Okay, I will explain this because this I also have recorded my session. So just will provide you. Right. So for the palettes, as you can see, also is a very important part which we need to add in our uh, right. So for palette, for also we can what we can do inside this is also we can uh, automate, right? So whenever we need to select or we need to change the palette size, right, the number of palettes will increase automatically. So for that also, just we need to provide some properties in that particular assembly while you working on this palette side. So before likewise, so whenever like this, we will change this, right? It will update all the number of palettes and the size as per our the size which we have decreased, right? So this type of uh, creation, right? You can easily can create in IronCAD also, right? So from the starting, what we just need to do is just need to create palettes, right? One of the palettes which we need, like the standard size or any particular palette size which we need to create, right? And you just need to provide the different names for our understanding only while providing the parameters, right, and the features, right. So now you can see, right, well, dragging freely in space, right, and we have changed the name to the BL, and from the right click, well, right clicking, and we just need to this editor, right, parameters, right. So in this parameters we need to add parameters, some of the features, right, so that the while changing the size of our palettes, right, it will automatically understood that what will be the change, that the parameter change of name we have provided, right. So this will be the 1000 value which the added we have added, and the height will be 25, right. So the palette length, overall length 1075 25 we have created, and it has added all the parameters, all the length, width and height basically, right. So these type of things we can create easily, right, and parameters, and just we have placed our part, and you can see, right. So now we just are creating a pattern, right, over this particular for this palettes, right. So mirroring, patterning, right, number of patterns or mirrors you can provide up to any extent, right. So different, and also we just need to place all our parts, right. So this is the same size of pellets as we need to create, or different size of pellets also we can create, right. So this is just for our understanding, we are naming it as an yield width, or for each pallets, right, which or number of pallets or types of pallets, right. So this understanding we have the first pallet which you have created, and so provided parameters, length, width, height, overall length, and in the second this pallet also, just we need to add parameters for all the EL. The parameter value is 1000, right. Parameter will be with W for our standing width 75, and height is our S25, right. I think values. Okay. So this is the A, and right, so just we need to point out this particular feature and placing it as an 90-degree. We can rotate it and through the tribal, right. So through the tribal directly we can placing it. So just then positioning, providing constraint, we can provide different kind of constraints here also, right. So most of this time we just need to select the constraint to this particular edge or point we can select. Placing, first of all, we can directly can point out, and okay, so just first of all, linking and mirroring, right. So this mirror products also we have provided. Now we can create it an coincident, okay, right. So in the assembly, in this the assembly tree, right, so different constraint as you can see, coincidental constraint. So this we need to provide this as an point to this particular point, placing it out, and this source of entity vertex to this particular vertex, right. So placing all these palettes, different palettes which we have created, right, coincident, and I'm just selecting the edges, right, so that they are placed at the 90-degree and right, cosine parallel, right. So now we can also provide the constraint type, so that it should be easily can placed, right? So just selecting all the different entities of the palettes, right? So this we have also selected the constraint type should be parallel, and it is selecting, right? Then easy, just select the face, right? And it is providing this parallel. So constraints also it is showing on the surfaces or the particular point where we are providing, right? So earlier the coincident we have provided, now this we need to second constraint also we are providing in as a parallel, right? So there's a fixed part we can provide. Okay, this paralleling, and we have created a single. So these the palettes which you also have created, you can save it in the catalogs, and we can use them in the later on also, right? So the features we can easily can use, right? Okay, so these are the constraint and dragging of our try balls, right? Yeah, save it as an assembly. Okay, so the palette and the name change we can just, and the base palette which we have created, right? And all the parameters which we have created, like 1075 it is providing, and it is an overall, right? So overall palette, the new palette which we have created, or an overall assembly or overall length and width we need to provide to this particular assembly which we have provided. In this assembly feature, size box dimensions, width handle, length handle also can be created, right? So their length, width, and height, as you can see in the assembly constraint, you can provide all these features like aspect locks. You can lock also some of the locks if you want to create, right? About the anchor. So from opposite handle. So resizing behavior, we need to provide it, right? From the opposite handle which we have selected. And now the tribal feature has been means all added in that particular assembly and constrained to each other, right, which we have created. So now when we will change this particular, right, it will move it like this. Okay. So particular length of features, length and dimensions we can provide to this particular palette, which as an assembly which we have changed, right? And now just we are freely dragging it, right? So new palette which we need to add over here. Okay, this is the part 4. A new length of dimension of palette we need to create 050, and just need to positioning it in the middle of the palette, new palettes which support palettes in the, and so this coincident again, just we need to provide it as an, this we will check the parallel constraint, and because it should be straight and parallel to these surfaces. But on the opposite side also, this will provide this. Okay, so the constraints and the features we can easily can create, and just need to frame it, or we can positioning, okay, with the help of this tripod. Okay, so this is the tripod. Tripod also just need to place to particular point. Now we can use this tripod, right? Linear patterning with, now it is showing number of 10. So number of patterning distance. So linear patterning directly we can use it with our, okay, like this. So in the pattern also, just we need to provide the parameters how this patterning will change when we will change our length of our assembly, right? The whole overall palettes when we will change, right? So these are the pattern parameters which we have created in palettes and all. Right? So it is showing that the overall length, right? The frame pattern, right? So this is frame pattern. Number of patterns should be dividing our assembly overall length, right, OL. So it should be divided to that particular length. So it is just we need to provide this expression like overall patterning. OL is showing first number OL, overall length of our pattern, and OL divided by the distance, right? So the distance which you need to provide. So distance we have provided at the value. Right? It should apply. Okay. So after that, it will automatically will uh, calculate, right, the overall length of our palette, right? So whenever this OL length we will change OL, which we have provided, right? It will number of palettes will be changed according to the parameter which we have added. Right? The width length we have provided, overall width we have provided, and this should be added. Right. So this type of automation, and you can also create, right. So sometimes the number of patterns or number types of different shapes of palettes also you need to create, right. So that should be added, should be changed, right. Also, when we are using these palettes, right, directly we can assemble. Now on these palettes we need to add up our boxes, right. So these boxes, number of boxes, multiple stacks you can add up on this particular palette, right. So just you can assemble these palettes on these boxes, right, point to point, and just provide to it's just like an assembling which we have done earlier, and so just provide to create some these of the features and distances. Now we can, after placing our carrots, like we can change the shape and size of palette, right, directly just while dragging all these marks like this. Okay, so it will change the palette as our needed, right. So because it is also taking the reference of the carrots which we have added on the palettes, right, in this assembly, right. So we can also always increase our mirroring, all right, or the patterning we can do, right. Directly we can copy or move it here or link here we can create, right. So this is repeated copy link, number of copies we can create, distances, just like an patterning which we can create inside this IronCAD, right? So it's a very easy tool. As you can see on the go, we are having all the most of the features in our home screen only, right? We don't need to click on our user interface at each and every time, right? Just with the help of this uh, tribal, right? Directly we can place out or create number of assemblies, right? Or patterns we can create here, and as you can see, and directly copy here. And also we can use or save all these boxes, palettes, right, every shape which you are creating, right, you can save it in the catalog, later on you can use, and with the help of these parameters we can create all these pattern features. Okay, so this is all my this is from my side, which I hope you understood that how with the help of these IronCAD, right, all these patterning features, right, and palettes, the parametric we can change, right, and automatically it will change, right, as per our parameters which we will provide, right. So with the help of simple calculations, which we can just need to provide at overall length dividing by the distance, right? So that kind of small, uh, you can say calculations you can provide inside the parameters, and it will automatically will take from there. Okay. So I hope you understood today's session, something you will get. And if you have any questions, please ask. We are open to questions. And further, if you have queries, we can add a separate session for you also.